Retro Craptacular podcast, where each month we continue our search for the best bad movies on the planet Earth. I am your host, Aaron, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Matt. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I was a lot better.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and then we sat down to do this, and it's my fault.
It is, actually.
It is
your
my fault, so I can't complain too much, but, you know, I was having a good day. I went to a charity tattoo thing.
Yeah.
Got a little anchor tattoo for charity for the food bank.
And then you
Great time. It's a great day. Loving life. And then we watched Children of the Corn.
Every child is afraid of the dark, the unknown, the nightmare. In Gatlin, Nebraska, that nightmare is in the corn. Stephen King's Children of the Corn.
Praise God! Praise the Lord!
From Stephen King, the author of Carrie, The Shining, The Dead Zone, and Christine, an adult nightmare. Children of the Corn.
I'm here, Lord! I'm ready!
Stephen King's Children of the Corn, an adult nightmare.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Just wow to this movie.
yeah. This was a movie that was, for me, like a movie that like kids talked about on like at school, when like I want to say like grade school. And
Really?
there was just some movie where it's like, oh, have you seen Children of the Corn? And that was like, if you'd seen it, then like that meant that like you were cool
Oh.
because like your parents let you watch a scary movie or something like that.
Huh.
I think. And I was like, no, I've never seen it.
For me, I've heard lots of like pop culture references to it. I've heard it mentioned just in passing, like, oh, that's very Children of the Corn, or, you know, like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. Like anytime you see a creepy kid, people often make some sort of reference to Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
But my God, what happened? What happens?
Okay. Well, so Children of the Corn. Yeah. My brain hurts thinking about it. We'll power through it. All right.
Yeah.
So it starts with narration from a small boy, and like it's in the past, like he's narrating something from the past, and he's in the scene that he's narrating.
Yeah.
He's in like a cafe, like a diner kind of cafe
Yeah.
thing. And there's a bunch of people. His dad's there, and he starts kind of giving us the background to the story, where a bunch of like all the other kids were out with Isaac, and how his dad didn't want him meeting with Isaac because he didn't like Isaac, and what the boy said is that my dad was very smart.
Yeah. So what's confusing about this? Let's get into the badness right away.
Oh, why not?
What's confusing about this is, so he's narrating the scene as a little child. It's the little child narrating the scene that he's in as a child. So it seems to be happening concurrently with what's happening, or like it's like a day or two later. I don't know.
It's being spoken about as a flashback.
It's happening. He's talking about it past tense.
Yeah,
like film noir.
Mm.
If film noir was full of shitty kids, but
shitty acting kids. Just to clear that up real quick.
Well, I mean, yes. And then murder happens.
Yeah, and so one of the other kids walks into the diner. He's like an older kid.
Mm-hmm.
This main character, his name is Job. He's very young.
The little kid's name.
The little kid is Job.
Who's narrating.
Yeah, he's narrating.
Yeah.
He's young, and some older kid walks in
named Malachi.
Yeah, and he's got a real creepy look on his face, and there are like other kids about. Like some of them are actually working in the diner too, that aren't as little. There aren't any kids as little as Job, I think, in this movie. I think him and his sister.
Him
are the
and his
youngest.
sister are the youngest ones. Yeah.
And then, the camera work shows something going down between the kids, like exchanging glances. And there's one incredibly scary-looking child peering in from the window who kind of gives a nod to Malachi, the first one who walked in. And then someone goes around pouring coffee, and a bunch of adults start like choking and dying, and evidently were poisoned by the coffee. At which point, the rest of the kids, some of them who have slipped in through the front door and then locked it, and then some of them who are already in there working, all of a sudden pull weapons like knives and scythes out of nowhere and just slaughter the rest of the grown-ups. Job watches his dad get like thrashed with a butcher's knife or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like a meat cleaver.
Yeah.
Big old meat cleaver.
Yeah. So that happens.
Yeah, and then it cuts to a motel, and the title card says "Present Day." And what we thought was happening was that was because like the diner had kind of like a 1950s kind of vibe going for it a little bit. Like it was very like classic, like kids given a strawberry milkshake with like whipped cream and a cherry on top in like one of those classic milkshake, pedestal glasses.
Yeah, it was very
like retro.
Yeah.
And so then it cuts to like present day, which is supposed to be 1984. And there's a guy who has like the adult version of that kid's haircut.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, so this must be the kid that we just saw. And he actually kind of looks like Michael Bay a little bit.
Little bit, yeah, no. I can see that.
It's the hair.
Okay, well,
mostly.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
mostly just the coif there.
Which is too bad for Michael Bay, I guess. But Linda Hamilton is in this movie also, which is cool. I think this is the only thing that's not a Terminator movie that I've seen her in. I don't think I've seen her in anything else.
I think I would, be in the same boat there.
Yeah. So, anyways, it starts with it's his birthday, and she wakes him up and gives him a cupcake and does a really awkward sing along dance for him to some song, and that just goes on for far too long. And I'm like,
For both the character and us.
Yeah, everyone. It's not good for anyone, and it doesn't serve a purpose in the movie except maybe to pad the running time.
I guess.
Because it's about a minute long.
Yeah. We've already talked about it too long, in my opinion. It's already eaten up most of our, enough of our lives.
Yeah. So then they start driving.
Yeah, and we don't know where they are, what they're doing, where they're going.
They do mention Seattle at one point.
Yeah, they do mention Seattle. I guess that was their destination.
Yeah.
Not super clear. The main character, dude, Bert. His name was Bert. And his wife, Ernie. No.
Vicky.
Oh, yeah. Or sorry, no, they're not married.
No.
There's some dialogue that's kind of tongue in cheek, but also kind of uncomfortable about him not committing to her.
Yeah. He makes a wish and she's like, "What'd you wish for?" Which is stupid because you can't tell her.
Yeah,
because then it won't come true.
Why would you ever ask someone?
It's like
that?
Wish 101.
Gosh.
So then he says happiness together.
He wishes for a happily ever after.
Happily ever after.
Because he's just making fun of her.
Right, happily ever after. And she says, "Is that a proposal?" And he's like, "No, it's not. It's definitely not." And then rolls over to go back to sleep.
Yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable.
I enjoyed that. That might be the best part of the movie. Or when
it was all downhill from there, yeah.
Well, I don't know. The kid getting smoked by the car was pretty great also.
It was pretty intense.
Because you don't think they're going to do that in a movie. And then it happens. And it just, they go for it.
It was jarring.
Yeah. So anyways, they drive. It's the next 20 minutes of this movie is them driving. intercut with Job and his sister Sarah talking to a slightly older child about escaping.
Yeah, about running away.
Yeah, he's got a suitcase packed and he's gonna run through the cornfield.
And it's cutting back to this with Job and Sarah and everything that we're like, wait, is this a flashback again? Or
Yeah.
who is this main character? And it was all really confusing for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's not really made clear until so the kid is running through the cornfield and you get the sense from the music that someone's chasing him, and eventually he does get his throat slit.
Yeah.
And then happens to walk out in front of the car because they're like joking around, making fun of the radio evangelist guy on the radio, because that's the only radio that you can get in the middle of Nebraska, I guess. So he runs out in front of the car, and like Bert does not stop, does not swerve, does not slow down. He smokes that kid. And the kid goes flying.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, dear. It was...
The
Very
kid
startling.
he's gonna die anyways.
Oh,
he
yeah,
had his
he
throat
was-
cut. It's
he
not
was already dead.
He is. If anything, Bert did him a favor.
Okay, well, maybe.
I mean, would you rather have a bullet to the head or 40 to the chest? 40's a lot. 5 to the chest.
Okay. I'll think.
Bullet
about
to
it.
the head.
Sure.
Anyways, either way, you're gonna die. Probably, unless you wore your vest.
What if I wore my face vest?
Do you have a face vest?
No, I can get one though.
Yeah. Okay. They sell those on Amazon.
eBay, I think.
Oh, nice. Okay. I wouldn't trust an eBay vest. Anyways, so kid's dead. This is when we find out that Bert's a doctor. Kind of.
Yeah, somewhat of a doctor. He was talking about an internship. I don't know whether or not that has to do with his doctoring.
I would assume probably.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like not quite a doctor. He's like how medical students will sometimes be like, I'm a doctor. And we're like, no, you're not. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
he maybe just graduated medical school. And he was like, I'm going to go get an internship at this hospital. Doesn't pay very well, but it's got a lot of exposure.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't, again, super clear in the moment, but thinking back on it.
Doctoring is like, it's like similar to like being a musician, right? You got to do a lot of free gigs first.
I don't think it's quite
that-
like
yeah.
that.
No, that's a joke. I was joking.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Oh,
serious.
I didn't get that.
I understand that medical school, like, you're pretty employable after that.
Yeah, pretty darn.
So, fun fact about this movie is that it doesn't take place in Maine,
Oh.
which is just a weird fact to throw out, except this is a Stephen King adaptation, and as everyone knows, which is why I picked it.
Right, yeah.
Because there's a bunch of like we had The Dark Tower, it just came out. It's coming out next month.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's like another sequel to Children of the Corn also coming out this year.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and apparently there's like 6 or 7 sequels to this movie.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know that for some reason.
yeah, like direct-to-video crap sequels.
Oh, man. No thanks.
Yeah, not good. So that's why I picked it. I was either going to be this or Christine, the movie about the killer car. And I haven't seen either of them. And I can't imagine that Christine is a worse movie than this. Because I've seen few movies that I liked less than this.
Yeah, that's fair. It was a stinker of a movie.
I picked it based on runtime. It's about 10 minutes shorter than Christine, and I was like, well, since we're only doing like a short episode,
Yeah.
Pick the shorter movie, less to talk about. I don't know if that's the case or not, but we suffered for it.
That we did. But anyway, getting back to it, they've hit the kid. He's dead. As a doctor,
dead.
he can tell that this boy was, in fact, murdered. He wasn't killed, necessarily, or he wasn't just killed from the epic car flip that he did.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this kid was murdered. We need to report a murder. So they bundle up the body, put it in the trunk, and head on down the road to try to find a phone.
Yeah, which is a lot to ask, apparently, in rural Nebraska.
Yeah. Stop at a gas station. There's some old dude.
Yeah, he's like, ain't got no gas. He's like, I don't need gas.
Ain't got no diesel either.
Like, I don't need diesel. He's like, well, I can't let you use the restroom unless you buy any gas.
Yeah, he was just trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's like, I need to use your phone. He's like, you think I got a phone? He doesn't.
He does not.
So
So he tells them to...
all he's got is an old truck and a dog.
named Sarge.
Yeah, with a scarf.
Which is an awesome dog name.
It's a great dog name.
Yeah. So he tells them to head on down the road 19 miles to whatever, Humphreyville or Humptown.
Havenbrook?
Hey,
Ogdenville?
it's... Wow, it was such a generic name that I
Yeah.
just can't even... It could have started with any letter of the
It
alphabet.
started with H.
Sure?
No.
Yeah.
40 to 80% sure.
Okay, well, that's... Okay. But then they're like, well, Gatlin is only 3 miles away. I'm like, they ain't got nothing in Gatlin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it seems like he knows
he does.
that all the adults in Gatlin were murdered.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he just be like,
It comes up later that...
does it come out?
That,
Did I miss it?
that there's like a deal essentially with him and the children of the corn that they don't kill him and he supplies them with fuel.
Right. And he also doesn't warn people not to go there?
I guess, or at least just doesn't tell people.
Well, I mean, I guess he did kind of tell them not to go there. Because he was like, they don't like having much visitors up there.
Yeah, he told them to just move on to the next town.
Yeah. But he could have been like, they don't like having visitors up there. Also, all the adults were murdered. Just go.
Yeah, it's a little unclear exactly what they hold over him. But
Yeah. Well, it was a little unclear what the kids wanted at first, too. Because they're not allowed to play games or listen to music. Or do anything fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume, like for me personally, if I was a child and I decided that I wanted to get rid of all the adults, it would be so that I could play and have fun all the time and not have any adults telling me what to do. And I could not go to school, and I could do whatever I want, and I could stay up till 9 o'clock.
Whatever, Dad.
And just do whatever I want.
But no, that's not the case in this movie. There's some crazy child named Isaac. I mentioned before. Turns out he was the really creepy one peering in through the window.
Yeah. He's like even grumpier than most adults.
Yeah, big time. And has a crazy, crazy, screechy voice. Who, I guess, it's not super clear how it all started, but he is the emissary of their god.
Corn demon.
Yeah, who is described as he who walks behind the rose.
The corn demon.
The corn rose.
Yeah.
And he delivers unto them the word of their God. So this crazy Isaac child starts a cult.
Murder cult.
With all the other kids. And
Yep.
all of the kids murder all of the adults.
It's a preteen murder cult.
The only non-murderers being Job and Sarah, the very young ones.
Yeah.
And they don't kill them, which is nice, I guess.
Oh, because she has the gift of sight.
Oh yeah, she
draws crayon drawings of.
Yeah, just before it all went down, she
things.
started drawing crayon drawings of like the children murdering the parents and doing all the creepy stuff that they did.
Yeah. Super
Messed up stuff. Really, really freaky. Not great acting, but that's whatever.
I'd say all the kids are bad.
Yeah.
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 Which is kind of to be expected. I mean, the list of like really good child actors is a short list.
Yes, it's rather short.
And none of these kids are even close to making that list.
No.
I don't even think these kids have seen that list. But it's not great acting from anyone. for whatever reason, I had it in my mind that this was like a much more like high profile movie.
Yeah, like it from all of what we've heard about it seemed like it should be some kind of cult classic.
Yeah, but like it's I mean maybe it is a cult classic. The video is put out by like Star Maker Video,
Yeah.
which sounds like a super like ghetto 80s like home video label that just would put out whatever garbage it could get its hands on.
Probably.
I looked it up. It was made for $800,000 in 1984, and it was produced by New World Pictures, which is Roger Corman's company.
Oh.
So like we're talking like, you know, it came from outer space and all those crappy sci-fi exploitation movies and
Yeah.
Battle Beyond the Stars and like Women in Cages and all those like wonderful pieces of schlock crap that I like quite a bit of Roger Corman's stuff. But he also, I guess, had like an acquisitions branch where like they didn't produce their movies. They would just like go get movies. And I think this was one of those movies that they just went and got.
Steaming pile of garbage.
Yeah, well, like it seems really amateur in a lot of
Yeah, the actual
ways.
quality of the film itself is weirdly low, even for an old VHS. Like,
yeah. Well, a lot of it is like played out in like weird wide shots, or you know, not a lot of coverage, not a lot of like camera movement
yeah,
was happening.
cinematography left a lot to be desired.
And then other conversations and scenes would play out in like only close-ups. So you have no sense of the geography of the scene because it's just cutting between 2 or 3 or 4 people.
Very
Yeah,
hard to tell what's going on most of the time in this movie.
I thought we were just going to get like a normal bad movie, but then we got like a bad movie that was also bad, you know?
Yes,
Like
I do.
Yeah, it's bad on many levels.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, so crazy kid cult, and they're freaky. They've got like a what's it called?
Cross?
Yeah, but like when it's
Scarecrow.
no, but when you hang someone on it.
Crucifixion?
Yeah. They've
What?
got a crucifix, or no, that's just the little one. What is it?
It's a cross.
Okay. So
What-
they got a cross
I
with
don't know
the
what you-
with the dead body on it. Well, it's just like when you tie someone up, it's not just called a cross, I thought, but it's hard to remember what
if
it was
there's
called.
a person on the cross.
Yeah.
I think it's only a crucifix if it has like an effigy of Jesus on it.
Right, yeah, I was trying to think like
Yeah,
'cause
like
pre Jesus, the cross was a symbol of death.
it was an instrument of murder,
Yeah.
execution. Yeah. No, I think I think it's only a crucifix if it has Jesus on it. So like Catholics wear crucifixes, Protestants wear crosses, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Otherwise, it's just a cross,
Anyway.
whether there's a person on it or not.
Okay, anyway,
Yeah.
the
There is a
kids-
person on it.
Yeah. The kids have in this clearing in the cornfield a cross of there's a dead body on it.
Yeah, it's a dead cop.
Dead cop, the blue man.
Yeah, it's literally a skeleton in a cop uniform, and still has the hat
Yeah.
on.
Just so you know, it's a cop.
Yeah, because otherwise it could be anyone in a blue shirt.
Yeah, and what they do all day, no idea. Because again, not allowed to play games or anything. It's really confusing how they've survived.
Do they eat the corn?
Well, that's a good question. They do kind of worship he who walks behind the rose. Do they eat his rose?
Yeah. Are they trying to get like a good yield out of their crops, and that's why they're doing all the murdering?
No idea. Again,
The
totally unexplained.
motivations were not very clear. Someone decided it'd be a good idea to murder some parents, made up a thing about corn. Someone walking behind it,
Essentially, yeah.
except not because, well, we'll get to it.
So Bert and
Vicky.
Vicky, there we go, are trying to drive on to the next town.
They're not trying that hard though.
Not trying that hard, but they do follow a sign. The Gatlin that way, Humphreyville this way.
Oh, we haven't even
And-
gotten to the part where they get to the town.
Don't worry,
Oh, man.
we'll
All
blow
right.
through it after that. But they can't. Like they turn down to Humphreyville, and then see another sign for Gatlin. In 2 miles.
Right.
And then they try to turn away from where the sign to Gatlin is pointing, and they come to another sign that says Gatlin. And like they can't escape the town, and then
Yeah.
eventually they're just driving on
They-
roads through corn,
Yeah, and then they end up back at the gas station
where that old guy was.
where
yeah.
where they asked for a phone, and he looked at them like they were nuts.
So then they decide. Ugh. Then they decide that they're just gonna go to Gatlin anyway because it's
Yeah.
way closer than Hogartsburg, and they just need to find a phone. Like he's getting really frustrated because things are taking too long because they legit have a
Yeah,
dead
he's got a
child.
He's got a corpse in his trunk.
Yeah, that's not okay.
It's not. You can't smell great.
I'd imagine not. So they head to Gatlin, and sure enough, it's like a ghost town. And there's no one around.
Yeah.
And
So
then they see some kids.
yeah, well, they get out to look around, and then when they're out of their car, some kids are like mucking around in their car. Then they chase them off, and then
Yeah,
they
they
get
get
back in their
back in
car
the
to
car.
chase them.
Yeah, go to find them.
And then they're driving, and he's like, "Oh, I think I saw someone go into that house there. Just gonna go use their phone."
Yeah,
So
and Vicky's like, let's just get the hell out of here. Like, obviously, this is a really messed up place.
Yeah,
But no, he wants to stop.
she's picking up on the murder vibes.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
He's not. So, and they are plentiful.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of murder vibes. So he just like walks into this house, and she's like, "This is someone's house." He's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna use their phone. I mean, it's fine."
Breaking and
Okay.
entering is fine if you're just borrowing the phone.
Vicky, just okay. Just gonna use the phone. And sure enough, they discover a little girl just chilling in a bedroom upstairs all by herself. And I don't know about you, that's a sign to run,
Yep, that's alarming.
especially in a ghost town.
Yep.
But what do? They're like, well, let's hang out and talk to her, see what she knows. And she's like, oh yeah, it's like, where are all the grown-ups? We need to talk to the grown-ups. They're like, oh, they're out in the cornfield. I'm like, oh, good. What are they doing out there? Are they working? No, Isaac put them there. Like, oh, yeah, why? Who's Isaac? Like, he's the ruler. The ruler of all of us. I'm like, okay. And he's like, and then Bert's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the town hall. You stay here with the weird girl.
Yeah.
Keep the car keys. I'm gonna go to the town hall. And he doesn't even go to the town. He goes to the schoolhouse.
Yeah, so up to this point, I feel like, because, you know, in horror movies and movies like that, murder stuff, the characters almost always, end up making choices that you definitely wouldn't make. And you just feel like screaming at the screen, like, why are you doing this? And up to this point, I feel like Bert's been fairly reasonable.
Except for
with
the
Woods.
scene where he like grabbed the tire iron and decided to wander into the cornfield to look for the murderer.
Yeah, okay, that was dumb.
Yeah.
But then he's like, okay, A, he knows a murderer's around. B, he found a child who says that their ruler put all of the adults in the cornfield. And you got to assume that, yeah, they're dead. And even if you don't assume that, something nasty is still going on. So he says, all right, I'm going to leave you here alone to go look for something alone.
Yeah.
What?
When what he wants is grown-ups. Where does he know there's grown-ups?
The cornfield.
Cornfield. So why doesn't he go to the cornfield? Why don't they
No
all go
idea.
to the cornfield? Because everyone in this movie is dumb.
So he decides to go to the town hall, which, yeah, again, he doesn't go to. He goes to the school.
Yeah, he misses it, goes to the school.
Can't tell you why.
School is trashed.
Mm-hmm.
And he finds a Picture of a dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picture of a dragon breathing fire down on a woman dressed in a blue dress.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what that was about.
There's no dragons in this movie.
Nope. That would have been great, though.
It would have been great, yeah.
I would have been pretty happy about that.
A lot of things
twist.
would have been better with a dragon in it. Iron Fist. This movie. So he makes a quick stop at the church to find a bunch of kids carving another guy's chest open and trying to drink his blood
Yep.
because it's his birthday.
Yeah, it's because he turned 19.
Now, I don't know about you, but on my 19th birthday, I went and just got shit-faced. Because that's what you do when you turn 19.
Yeah, I think I had lasagna.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
Sick. Actually, what I did on my 19th birthday was I went and saw Aiden Knight and Said the Whale in Stanley Park.
Oh, yeah.
And I did drink beer there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Happier days than this.
And some friends brought me brownies. It was a good time. It was a good time.
That was awesome.
You know, it was not a good time. The rest of this movie.
Oh, gosh.
I
no.
literally, what should be the exciting part of the movie
It was the part that just kept dragging
it
on.
just kept happening. And, I don't know if, maybe I had... Because, the beginning was boring, and the middle was boring. If by the time... I don't know if the ending was actually boring, or if just my brain was
Dead.
Yeah, it was just you can stay here, but I'm getting out of here. And... I don't know. I was just there were some times where did you catch that? And I was like, what? No, I don't know what.
Where are we?
My mind
Are we watching a movie?
is refusing to retain any of the information that's it's being fed, if you can call it information.
Yes, that's the perfect way to describe Children of the Corn. Mind numbing.
Yeah,
Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
it really is. Exciting things are happening. The Malachi and his gang, his cronies, the Corn gang show up to kidnap
Vicky.
Vicky. Thanks.
Yeah.
They tie her to a cross made of, I think it's made of corn husks, or it has corn husks incorporated.
I think it just has corn husks on it,
Yeah, they've incorporated corn husk into the design of
as they have it.
the feng shui of their
Everything
cross.
of
Yeah,
the entire town. Corn husks
It's
everywhere.
corn husks all over the place. They're really into corn. So they strap her to a cross and string her up and then take her down. Because Malachi's you know what? I think I'd like to be in charge of the murderous children gang. And Isaac's I am his messenger. I interpret his word. And Malachi's oh yeah, shove. Just pushes him to the ground.
Yep.
And then no one steps in to stop him. And so he's cool, that means I'm in charge now. Take the woman down, tie this kid up there instead. And then we're going to use the woman to lure the man out. Which they do.
Which they do.
And...
Oh, but yeah, they try to do that.
Yeah, that's right. They try to do that.
But he can't hear them because he safely got away from all the kids because of Job and Sarah, who took them into their dad's old fallout shelter.
Right, yeah.
He was afraid of the rest.
He was afraid of the communists. Yeah. That's
he's safe
what they say.
down there. Yep.
It's an actual line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he doesn't hear Malachi, so I guess they just don't do anything with Vicky. But then at night, in that clearing with the crosses, they go to sacrifice Isaac as well as the guy who turned 19.
Right.
And so the guy who turned 19 goes willingly into the corn to join him or whatever. Again, kind of unclear, but we figure, he's going to die. He's going to die to join all the dead people. And that's when we find out that there is actually a quote-unquote corn god.
Yeah.
Because we see this scene of something traveling under the earth, like the earth is being upturned, like a
Yeah.
giant worm or something is under there.
Yeah.
And I think his name was Amos, the 19-year-old, walks out into the cornfield, like, "Take me now, Lord, take me now," and then he screams horribly off screen, right? And then Isaac, who's tied up on the cross, is going to be sacrificed, and we have some kind of really, really crappy light effect creep up the cross and cover his body. And I totally thought he was going to, like, disappear, or, like, all of the flesh would be gone from his bones, but instead he kind of blows up, and the whole cross shoots up like a rocket from the earth.
Yeah. That was great. That was the second best part of the movie.
Which, yeah, like at that point should have been really funny to watch, but was just kind of mind-buggeringly
Yeah.
strange. I was just watching it thinking, what?
Yeah, everything good that
Just-
happens in this movie involves children being launched into the air violently.
Which is a bad sign.
There are two things that happen, and those are the only good things in the movie.
Yeah, so that was weird, but, fun twist. Isaac wasn't just some crazy kook to start a cult. There's
Yeah.
some kind of corn demon in the cornfield.
Yeah, not all children who start weird murder death cults to kill all their parents are kooks. Okay,
Yeah.
Some of them are right. There are actually corn demons out there telling them to do these things. So the lesson, like, listen to your kids. I think that's the lesson here.
And also, don't live in corn.
Nebraska, yeah.
Or, yeah, Nebraska. Don't live in Nebraska, guys.
So then the kid shows up. The kid, what's the Isaac? Fuck, I hate this movie. Isaac shows up and he's like,
Insert biblical name here.
"He wants you too, Malachi." And you're like, "Whoa, that's creepy."
Yeah.
And he has horns.
I think his hair was just up in
Oh, maybe.
the effect of horns.
Yeah.
Like, it was all messed up.
It was a shitty VHS we watched, so
It was hard to tell.
kind of hard to tell
But yeah,
sometimes.
so he apparently is now possessed by the corn demon,
Yeah.
and he, like, grabs Malachi by the throat and kills him.
Yeah,
And
and also dies.
presumably he died in the sacrifice, yeah.
Everyone runs away at that point.
Yeah, everyone straight up books it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vicky's now free because everyone's booking it. Bert kind of interjected before Malachi was killed.
Right, yeah. He just, like, runs in and just, like, shoulder barges Malachi over. Like, it took no effort at all.
No, because it's a grown man fighting a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Just, like, shoves him over and grabs Vicky.
And tells her to leave.
Tells her to leave. Like, that was his whole plan.
And why he should have
It
left.
was successful in, like, 3 seconds.
Yeah. But he should have left with her. Instead decides to stay and, like, lecture all the kids,
Yeah.
saying, like, no,
Like, on religion.
No religion makes sense if it doesn't have love and compassion.
Yeah.
Something like that. At which point, of course, Malachi gets up and tackles him.
Yeah.
But then he gets his because Isaac kills him, and then that's when they're all kind of like, "Oh, there is a corn demon. How do we, like, stop it?" And he asks little kid Joe, "Has anyone ever actually tried to stop the corn demon? Has anyone ever tried to attack it?" And he said, "Oh yeah, the blue man." And like, "What? The blue man? Ossifer Henriksen?"
Yeah.
Something like that,
That's the thing. Yeah, the little kids in this movie talk like little kids.
which makes sense.
Yeah, but they talk the way, like, little kids talk in movies. And it's so annoying. Like, "Oh yeah, Ossifer Henriksen. He tried to stop it." It's like, just have the kid say officer. What? Why? His voice is annoying enough. The fact that he mispronounces everything does not make him more endearing.
It's fair.
Yeah.
But anyway, then they find out that before Malachi killed the cop, what the cop was trying to do was hook up the irrigation system of the field to like a gas pump or something.
Right. Yeah. They have all the gas that they were getting from the old gas station man for reasons
For reasons.
that they had probably. And so I guess the cop had tried to hook up all the sprinklers that water the cornfields to the gas so that he could like burn them. Which, like, how hard can it be to set a cornfield on fire? Like,
Right?
do you really need a lot of gas? Like, just
I was
Just
even
start
thinking
setting-
like when everyone's fled after Malachi's death, they had torches because
Yeah,
it was
they
at
dropped
night,
them.
and they dropped them. And I was like, oh, now the cornfield's gonna go up in fire, but I guess not.
no, because we need a more
Flame retardant corn.
thrilling ending. So then Bert just does that.
Yep.
He's
Hooks it up.
yeah.
Little kid Job helps him,
Yeah, he makes a Molotov cocktail,
and then like
which again, why do you need the gas to just
just-
use the Molotov cocktail?
But anyway,
Whatever.
they cover the whole field in gas, and then crazy dark purple electric clouds start to form.
Mhm.
And we get like a POV from the clouds. So presumably the clouds have something to do with the corn demon.
I think that was the corn demon.
But then also there's something traveling under the earth.
Also the corn demon.
Yep, I guess.
What would have been a better ending?
I'm not very
Well,
up
I
on
mean,
demon anatomy. So
Who am I? Who am I to say what would make a better ending or not? But let me run this past you.
Okay.
If the demon was literally just a giant sentient cob of corn that rose up out of the earth, that'd be better, right?
It would be better.
It would be way better.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing
And then they set it on fire.
with a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, roasted corn,
And
on
then,
the
and then
cob.
it pops.
and they could make some. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be good.
And then like the entire town is covered in giant
In popcorn.
meteors of
And it
popcorn.
just rains popcorn, and then all the kids just celebrate by eating popcorn.
Yay! Yay! Yep.
But that's the whole movie.
Yeah. Essentially, they
Is
after setting it on fire, they run, and there's like some monstrous kind of scream as the field burns, and Job is like, "Is it dead?" And Bert's like, "I think so." It's like, "Well, why are we running then? Just keep running."
There's a wildfire still, so there's danger.
Yeah, and then they get back to their car, which has been stuffed full of corn, which presumably means it doesn't work anymore.
Well, yeah.
And they're like, well, it's 19 miles to Humphreyville. We're going to walk. Yeah, gonna walk.
Yeah. Like, what do we do with the kids? And what you do with the kids in this scenario is leave them there. That's what I'd do.
Yeah, I guess they just, because Job and Sarah were the only, I guess, not crazy cult worshipping ones, and they helped them a lot
Yeah.
with the whole killing the corn demon.
And I
They-
guess they have no parents, so, you know.
So they decided to take him with. One thing that I was curious about is what the heck happens with all of the rest of the kids. There were a lot of kids there, and they got left.
I assume Child Protective Services rolls in. Well, actually, you know what? There's a way to find out. There's like 6 sequels to this movie.
Oh, yeah, I rescind the question.
So if
then.
you're really curious, you could go looking for the answers. But I think that's
No, I'm good.
be careful what you wish for kind of scenario.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there was also the girl that hid in the back of the car that tried to stab Bert.
Oh, yeah, just before they leave, he goes to get the map from the car before
Yeah.
walking, and there's crazy girl still tries to kill him, saying that he needs to be sacrificed.
Yeah, and
Which
he
is-
hits her in the face with the car door.
Yep. Knocks her out cold.
And she's like, "Oh, she's out cold. What do we do?" And then Vicky's like, "Send her a postcard from Seattle." And then they leave. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That's the last thing that happens.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad that it was over.
It was relieving. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
I was hoping that this movie was going to be funnier. Like that,
yeah,
the
like,
badness
like it would be such a bad movie that it's hilarious.
Yeah, it was just like the whole point of this show to find those movies. But it is just awful.
Yep.
If you haven't figured that out by this point in the podcast, we hate this movie.
It's atrocious.
And do you want to do the honors of? Oh, do you want to guess what it critics gave it on Rotten Tomatoes? That's a bit we do.
17.
Ooh, probably close. Hold on, I have it pulled up.
It's got to be something really bad, though. Seriously.
I have it pulled up here. Hold on. 1, 2, 38%.
38?
38%.
What?
That's too many percents.
That is much too many. Many too much. See, it's killed my brain.
70% of Google users liked this movie.
Oh,
Thumbs down. I'm giving this a
what?
thumbs down.
Give it one from me, too.
I will. Ugh, gotta. Ugh. Yeah. So I don't know. Would you like to do the honors, or shall I?
You know what? You do it, because I can't use my brain anymore. This movie killed me.
That is one big pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
That movie
Oh, my word.
sucks. Don't watch it. I might burn this VHS tape
Yeah.
when I get home.
Sacrifice it to the corn gods. To never make another movie again.
There's another one coming out this year.
Oh, no. We
Dude.
better sacrifice quick.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was terrible. I hate everything that this movie stood for, and the people that made it. So if you like this movie for whatever reason, tell us why on Twitter or Gmail at retrocrappod on Twitter, retrocrappod@gmail.com. Send us an email there. If you agree with us and you want to agree with us more financially, you can do so on Patreon, patreon.com/retrocrappod, I think. Maybe Retrocraptacular. There's a link on Twitter. Check our Twitter. And otherwise, we're on iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Give us a rating and a review. Really helps a lot. Subscribe if you want to never miss an episode. We're all on YouTube as well. All the episodes are on YouTube. We will be back next month with a better movie, I promise. Should I tell them what it is?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We're going to watch Roadhouse, starring Patrick Swayze. One of my favorite movies ever. I'm so excited.
I'm pretty darn excited, too.
Oh, it's so good. It's going to be so much better. We gotta cleanse the palate
Oh,
after
definitely.
this turd. Ugh. Anyways.
Well, at least we know now. We know what Children of the Corn is.
Yeah. Are we better off?
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't
Nah,
think
that wasn't
so.
worth it.
It was
Okay.
not. That was 93 minutes of our life. We're never getting back.
Never.
Plus, however long we spent talking about this.
Ugh. What are we doing with our lives?
Well, until
Watching
next time.
Roadhouse next
Yeah,
month.
we're
That's
watching
what we're doing.
Roadhouse. It's going to be so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
The throat rip. Anyways. Until next month, keep watching crap.